On the Daily Show last night, Jon Stewart tore into Democrats for a variety of reasons, but a couple of Democrats in particular, and that being Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, who, after being vociferously anti-Donald Trump, recently visited Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago. He pointed out that Brzezinski said during the announcement for this trip, for those asking why we would go speaking to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? To which Jon Stewart said, because you said he was Hitler. And look, they weren't the only people saying that he's a fascist. I was saying the same thing, but I also wasn't eating chocolate cake in Mar-a-Lago this weekend. And so there are some differences between us. He goes on, responding to a clip where Joe Scarborough listed all the issues that they talked with Trump about. And Stewart said, I bet you really laid down the gauntlet, Joe. I bet you walked in there and just let him have it, didn't you? And look, we're gonna get to what Scarborough and Mika said is the reason they went. And I don't even think that their argument is 100% wrong for some people. I just don't buy that that's why they're now trying to cozy up to Donald Trump. Joe Scarborough in particular has been a very different person depending on what year you look at him. And it seems to be the sort of person he needs to be for what he wants to accomplish with his career. I don't know him personally. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm off base. But I don't think he was going there to make sure that he could stick it to Trump where necessary and get a crucial piece of legislation passed. There might be people who want to do that. And there are people like even Bernie Sanders is like, here's like 3 things I would be willing to work with him on. There are principled people, but unprincipled people can at times make arguments that sound like principled people. That doesn't make them the same. But Daria, what do you make of this?
They went to his house, John. This is not a neutral location. They flew to Mar-a-Lago to meet with him. There is no way they walked into his house and were critical of him in any way, shape, or form. Not to mention the type of person that Donald Trump is. He doesn't like criticism in general. But now you're talking about you're in his home, in his domain. You were kissing up to him. You were sucking up to him, and everyone knows it. There's no way that they went in challenging him. All of that is baloney. And also this points to why people are turning to independent news sources, because you have people like Joe and like Mika, who for this entire election season have been super critical of Donald Trump, perhaps even more critical than the regular mainstream media has been. And now they're doing an about face, which is honestly scary to think about. Like, why are you so scared of him? What's going on that we don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they talked to him on the phone. God only knows the threats that he's made. Yeah, and like so, and I'll end on this. If Kim Kardashian wants to meet up with Donald Trump to get some good piece of reform passed, then she can do that. And there might be a couple of representatives that are like, here's one thing we can work with, and maybe I'll do that. All that's fine. You can have the strategy. But each individual person needs to figure out if they can be a part of that, if it makes sense. And they say, like, I'm gonna jump to one more graphic. Number 7, if we can bring this up. Responding to the criticism, Joe Scarborough says, don't be mistaken. We're not here to defend or normalize Donald Trump. We're here to report on him and to hopefully provide you insights that are gonna better equip all of us in understanding these deeply unsettling times. So they say, we're not here to defend or normalize him. We can have a debate about whether it's good to normalize Donald Trump, and you can be on either position of that. What you can't say is that this is not normalizing Donald Trump. You are having a meeting with him as if that's a normal thing that can be done. He's a normal president that you work with, even though earlier this year you said there's no middle ground with a person like Trump. You're now implying that there is middle ground. Not even middle ground, there's Mar-a-Lago ground. And so it's not consistent is the issue I have. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.